I've been playing around with the keyboard, learning. You have to kind of look for the sounds and stuff. It's not as easy as some. So if it's annoying, just let me know. Okay, thank you. One vote of confidence. I mean, there's like 30 different sounds. We got to use them, right? Or not. All right. Are you going to say hello this morning? Yeah, I'm ready. No, I'm not ready. I'm almost ready. Okay. Now I'm ready.
All right. Good morning, beautiful people of CSL. It's great to be back here and to join in the radiance and the love that you are. Yes. This first song that we're doing is one we've done many times. I am the light of the world. And I would like to say that remember who you are. You are that light as well.
And I invite you to stand. Good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in the Heart of Las Cruces. We're a bit discombobulated this morning, but having lots of fun. Okay, I am so glad to be here, like Doug, and I invite you to stand and for a couple of songs. Like this is where we kind of start our spiritual work and make our connection. And this song, in the middle part, talks about you being the light of the world. If you're comfortable, you might take like a peek at each other and make eye contact. I mean, if that's too scary, that's fine. But there's a different, like if I say, Doug, you are the light of the world, that's very different from actually making eye contact and you are the light of the world. That has a different feel than just staring at the wall. Okay, let's sing. I'll shut up.
I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
This next one's going to be new to some of us, but for those of you who don't know, Doug and I attended a music symposium in Salt Lake that was led by Ricky Byers, so we might be doing a few of her songs.
Like this one.
Like this one, Blessed Always.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
Amen. Yes, thank you so much. I love Ricky Byers. Thanks for bringing her into the room, and welcome home. I can't wait to hear more. We're glad to have you. Good morning, everyone. I'm Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here at the center, and I want to welcome everyone to the Center for Spiritual Living in the heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. And I want to welcome people who are visiting for the first time and those who've come back for a second time. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome. If this is your first time, there are visitor packets in the back, and they have gift certificates to the bookstore, so be sure to pick one up and let us know how you found us. So again, welcome to everybody who's here this morning. And let's put that picture up. I heard from our traveling team this morning. Here we are. They're on their way to Chapala, to the Conference of the Americas in Chapala. One more time. We'll try it. And it's our practitioner, the one above it maybe. It's Teresa and Karen Boyer and Nancy Walzak and Brenda Wauer. And they were on their way to Juarez, and they're flying from there to Guadalajara and then on to Chapala. So Bob's going to get that picture up there for us. They sent it.
PowerPoint does not want to release control.
They were waving on their way this morning. Well, it was a good thought. Hold them in your prayers. We know that they're getting there better than the pictures coming up. They're probably all the way into Juarez by now. So if it comes up, it'll come up. I'm going to keep doing announcements. Thank you. Thanks for trying, Bob. So I want to thank everyone for the fantastic participation we've been having at our community meetings and the fabulous ideas that keep popping up and out all over the place. From this past Tuesday's action meeting, we have a few committees that have stepped forward and their facilitators have stepped forward, and you are invited to join these committees as you feel so called. So Bill, would you wave? There he is. He's facilitating our welcoming and greeting team. If you're interested, see him, and he's going to pull together a group of you to figure out how best we can do that. Lillian, myself, and Reverend Helen are facilitating the crafting our message team, the types of messages we want to put out there on social media as well as out into the public. So if you're interested in that, see me. Lillian is also heading up a team that's looking into what we might be able to do with our upstairs area and what's required to do it legally. So if you're interested in seeing how that piece of the property gets used, see her or contact her. And it was suggested that we have a financials team to look at fundraising, events, building uses, rental, all of that. We need a facilitator for that team. So if you feel so called to put together that team and work with folks on that issue, please let me know, and I'll let people know, and we'll get that one going. And Sarah and Doug are back, as they said, from their symposium, and they're wanting to see our music enhanced. Sarah would like somebody to step up with her, or however, but they're going to do that. If you're interested, let them know, and we're going to see what we can do to expand our music ministry. And I know they are sitting on some amazing gems that they're bringing back for us, so we're waiting to hear about that. So this, there are all kinds of other ideas. These are the main ones that came out of the last meeting. This Tuesday, we're meeting again. The main focus is the second question that we didn't get to, which is how to use the interior space that we have right now. So if you're interested, come join us at 1:30 in the social hall, and we'll be talking about that and seeing what comes out of that meeting. And our group after this Tuesday will be looking for a different time to meet because the book study will be starting up August 8th at the same time. So Tuesdays at 1:30 starting August 8th. Teresa's book study, the CSL Book Buddies, will be starting up. There's a sign-up sheet in there, and the book is listed, and you can get copies of the book from the office. And let's see what else. Our book study with the community book that's been spearheading a lot of the ideas for this community gathering starts up again on August 3rd, and that'll be from 4 to 5 here in the sanctuary. And we are participating in the Southern New Mexico Pride Festival, so see our board president, Carrie, for that, and sign up to help her, make sure that goes off well. That will be in October, but we need to plan and get the team together. Saturday, August 5th, from 8:30 to 1, we will be having another sidewalk sale here. There are already folks helping, but come by, see them, and see what good things they have out there for sale. Our next board meeting is August 13th after the service. It is an open meeting. And in September, Sharon Bray, I didn't see her this morning, she's going to be teaching an oil painting class. Information on the table out there, the supplies that you need for that. So sign up if you'd like to do that. We're also getting other artists lined up to teach their art skills. So that's coming. And if you're interested, see Janice. Janice, wave. Janice, hello, wave. Wave. There's Janice. She's getting all that organized. So if you have art skills that you'd like to share, see her, and we'll get you lined up for that. That being said, our practitioner is Bob Greer this morning. Please welcome him to the platform. Woo-hoo.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, CSL. Great to have the band back. Where's my cheat sheet?
Right in front of you.
You sure? Oh, it says don't say anything. My name is Bob. I'm a practitioner here at the center. It's great to be here as always. We believe in the power of prayer, which we call spiritual mind or affirmative prayer. If you have need of prayer treatment, there are cards available in the backs of the chairs. You fill them out, put them in the prayer chest in the back or the offering plate, and those go directly to, actually today they're going to go directly to me, and then I share them with our prayer team. And we have a prayer team composed of members, ministers, and practitioners from the 4 New Thought Centers. We have 4 New Thought Centers in Las Cruces. Think about that. Something going on here, because I don't even think they have one in El Paso. So, not that we're better. I'm just saying. So anyway, we have members, and these folks show up every Tuesday, and we pray with you for whatever it is that you are feeling in need of. And also, in the same vein, if you've asked for prayer, or if you just want to celebrate something that's happened that's positive or uplifting, we have affirmation cards that you can fill out, gratitude cards rather, and you can fill those out and leave those. And we always love sharing that with each other, especially the prayer team. That we love to hear results of what our work is. So if you have any other questions, and also after the service today, if you feel in need of a little short treatment, you can find me or Judy or anybody else wearing one of these, and we'll be happy to do a treatment with you. So at this time, it's time for song, silence, and prayer.
Love sees a new dawn at midnight. Love sees miracles in broken things. Love sees riches in everyday blessings. Love sees in barren places living springs. Love speaks to trust and faith. Love speaks of hidden light in every face. Love sees, love speaks, love alone knows truth. Love sees, love speaks, love alone is truth. Love knows all life is precious. Love knows what we need is already here. Love knows right now is holy. Love knows perfection beyond how things appear. Love knows perfection beyond how things appear.
So just opening to this moment of perfection, right here, right now, being totally in this place and time. I connect with that divine that dwells within, that divine spark that is in and through everywhere and everyone. For I know that each one is connected to this divine at all times. And I just embrace that and know that. And I just express my gratitude for this time together today, for the gifts that I am receiving on a moment-by-moment basis, for all the joy, love, and laughter that permeates from this place, our spiritual home, CSL. And with a heart overflowing with gratitude, I simply say, so it is. So for the reading today is from A Course in Miracles. It's actually the introduction. And it says, this is A Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching or the meaning of love, for that is beyond what it can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing those blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is in your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So it is.
Okay, I'm going to do this song called No Complaints Whatsoever by Jan Garrett and J.D. Martin, and it's a thought I'm aspiring to. I really like this song. Yeah, the chorus comes up pretty often, so if you get the hang of it, please sing along.
I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. And a new day is dawning in my soul. I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. And a new day is dawning in my soul. Yes, a new day is dawning in my soul. Believe it or not, I ain't lying. I'm not trying to cover up the facts. the downs. I see beauty all around, 'cause I'd rather be grateful than right. And I get to play with what I'm given and find such unexpected harmonies. Weave in the light through the deep dark shadows till the music sets me free. Well, I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. I've got no complaints whatsoever. And a new day is dawning in my soul. Yes, a new day is dawning in my soul. I've got no regrets. I'm seriously blessed. And a new day is dawning in my soul.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you. Something for us all to aspire to. Well, today we are blessed with a speaker, Lisa Juliano. She's been here recently, so we're excited to have her back. I have a longer bio of her in the newsletter if you want to read all about it, but I'm just going to consolidate with Lisa. First started attending here at the center in 2005 through the Course in Miracles group, which is what that intro to the book was about. She still attends the Course in Miracles as well as many of the other classes and book studies offered by the center, and she is currently the facilitator of Power of 8 group. Prompted by her coursework here at the center, Lisa's been studying various modalities of energy work since 2012. She works with people to help them become aware of their unique energy systems and how to use their energy to create more satisfying life for themselves and for those around her, or them, her. I like that, around them. And I just have to throw in, she was the board president back when they first hired me in 2012, so I have a soft spot for her in my heart. Please welcome Lisa Juliano.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for coming and sharing the light and love that you are this morning. I'm going to just move this a little bit down. I'm a little short. So I'm doing a double header this morning. I don't know if you're aware, but Reverend Sandy Scott spoke this morning at Unity. I saw you there, so she's on the double header as well. So Reverend Sandy Scott, if you're not familiar, was the minister here when I started, and she also facilitated Course in Miracles at that time. So she was my first introduction to this philosophy, but also Course in Miracles. And so I kind of came to see her. And just to be reminded, I don't know where everyone is in their journey here with religious science, but when I first came to this philosophy in these classes, for me it was the first time that I had been ever told in my life that I was love and light, a channel for love and light, expressing in the world. And I really took to that, and I wanted more of that. And my higher self that's what I call that part of me. My higher self was telling me, take this body out, go to the exquisite mountains that we have here. Go hiking, go snorkeling, go skiing, go look at rainbows, go eat more chocolate. And and just really embodying that joy and light and love that we say we are here. And so I just really embraced this philosophy. And also, another thing I really liked about it is, I don't know about you all, but I was raised in Christian churches, and I remember sitting there as a kid kind of feeling like the parables and the stories that they were telling were very far removed from my life. I didn't feel like I could incorporate it in any way. And I felt like with the classes here, I was really given the tools to bring this spirit into my life. And I just started working these tools more and more, and just saw more and more improvement in my life. And so one of the things that Reverend Bonnie mentioned in my intro or my bio was Master Stephen Coe. And so if you go down the road a little bit with me here, is basically he came to the center here in 2000, I think it was 2008, 2009, and did a workshop on how we use our energy fields, like our chakra and our auras and things like that. And I was just like, oh, this is my thing. This is my thing. I was so excited. But at that time, I was kind of going through a rough divorce and custody battle. And I'm sure my Course in Miracles friends were tired of me complaining and whining about it. So I went down that pathway of but not till 2012. He came back again and did another intro, and I chose to follow that pathway, and I'm still doing that work now. So are you guys up for a little experiment about feeling your energy? Okay, so we say here that thoughts become things, right? So let's see if we can kind of feel that, okay? So let's do just a little before and after, just with your hands kind of just see if you can, I don't know, notice any energy in your hands. Does it feel kind of balanced? The energy? Okay, so I want you to look at your right hand and say apple. Apple, apple, apple. Red, juicy apple. Okay, now go ahead and feel your hands again. Did everyone hear Brenda? It's heavier. So just our thoughts, just speaking truth to that apple in our hand. Some of us can feel it, right? Now, sometimes it takes a little practice to get more sensitized, so if you didn't feel it, no worries, but that's how it goes, okay? Now, go ahead, clear your hands. Okay, so on your left hand, go ahead and say anger, 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 anger. Okay? Feel? Anybody feel anything? It feels hot. What else? Numb? Bob said? Heavier? Okay. Sometimes people actually feel pain. Okay? Let's clear that anger, right? Because we don't want, well, let's go ahead and say joy. 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 Woo, that feels better, right? Okay. So the idea in energy work and pranic healing is that if we hold on to, so sometimes when we're younger, we don't know how to process our emotions, right? I feel like as a culture, we're really strong kind of in the mental capacity with our education. We have physical practices that we do, go to the gym, that kind of thing. But I'm not sure, for me, I wasn't taught a lot of emotional processing. And so what happens is when you're younger, you don't know how to deal with it, so that those emotions can sit in your energy field. Okay, so, and they sit in there until we're ready to process them. And so the work that I do, I kind of help people process through that older energy. And so we try to get to kind of the root, what we call the root cause of those maybe unexpressed emotions, and then process them, okay? So the name of my talk is Keeping It Real. And so I'm gonna break it down into 3 parts: keeping it real with myself, keeping it real with others, and then keeping it real in the world. So starting with keeping it real with myself, when I first started here and I started experimenting with this, I had a lot of early success. But then I started running into kind of blockages. I don't know if anybody's had that same experience where you set an intention, maybe in a class, and the energy isn't coming through maybe as as easily as with other things. So I developed some practices and tools that I use, and I'm going to share those with you. And I'm sure a lot of you have practices that you do also, and if you feel free to share those with me later. But one thing is I try to be proactive, kind of before any crisis hits, right? We want to get at this stuff before anything comes down the pike. So I have a bunch of tools that I do every morning. One of the strong ones is self-reflection, just being honest with myself. Where did I maybe say something or think something that maybe wasn't 100% in alignment with spirit? And then releasing those things that are not serving me any longer. I realize they might have been there because I needed them at the time, but they're no longer needed. And so I go through daily journaling, self-reflection, meditation in order to clear these things. Sometimes I actually do energy work on myself. I do another process called Psych-K, which works with the thoughts to kind of create new neural pathways, because we get into grooves, right? It's almost like an old record player. And so I use all these techniques on a daily basis. And then the second thing I have here is just practicing self-love. And what I mean by that is just trying to act in every moment in alignment with spirit. And sometimes that means I have to overcome my personality, right? I try to act from a state of oneness. So what does that mean? Well, that means that sometimes what I think is the right thing to do might not be what's good for all concerned. Correct? As much as we might hate to admit it, I know that sometimes I get stuck in my small little box of thinking that I know the right way, and everybody else needs to know my way. But really, if we tap into that oneness, we get more into the flow. Doug and I were talking about flow. We get into more of the flow of what's needed for everyone, not just our own personal box that we're in, right? And so do we always need to make that known in every moment? I'm not sure. I'm not perfect at this, by the way. I'm practicing this. If you've been around here long enough, you know that that's not always the case. But that's my practice at the moment. And so the third thing, so I have kind of being proactive and then trying to stay in the present moment. And then what happens if I get triggered? Sometimes I'm confused about what triggered me, the situation or the event. Maybe or the person, I'm reacting more strongly to the situation than the situation warrants. So I'm like, okay, there's something there, right? If there's then I try to go and do some deep diving around what the situation is. I kind of think about it as, those old reel-to-reel films. And I looked it up. They still use them sometimes, like on Wonder Woman and stuff they used. But anyway, so I think about it as spirit, kind of as a light behind me. And it's shining through my energy fields. And if I'm seeing anything on the screen, like a bug, remember back in the day, you would see like a bug or a piece of dust or something on the screen. That's an indication of something in my energy field that's projecting out into my life. That's how I perceive it. So then I go in and I try to correct that at the level of the root cause of whatever it is. Now, I just lost my train of thought about that. Oh, so usually that involves forgiveness. The big F word, right? And it's not so much about forgiving the other person, it's about forgiving myself for having that thought, that emotion in the first place. Somehow, somewhere along the way, I picked up some idea that I was separate from spirit, that I was not enough, that I wasn't loved, and that person is just a mirror for that. I'm projecting that onto that person. And so I try to use any kind of situation that comes up like that in that way. So now I'm going to talk about keeping it real with others. Now, if you know me well, I'm an Italian from the East Coast. So keeping it real with others is not my problem so much. The problem is balancing that with love, basically. So when I first started this philosophy, I don't know if anybody has had the same experience, but I would want to practice on my family and friends and things, and I'm like, somebody comes to me with some issue, and I'm like, okay, let's get to the root cause. Let's figure out, what the trigger is around your mother-in-law. My sister comes, and I tell her, well, I think it's some karmic cycle that you started with her in the end of the 1600s. And that, if you know me, that's how I speak. And it may be totally true with a capital T. Is that helping my sister in this given moment? Probably not. There's only certain people that maybe can hear that in that way and it be helpful for them. And so I'm learning how to, how do I address things at the level that a person can hear them, basically. So another analogy I heard recently on a YouTube video was, imagine that you're just waking up in the morning, and maybe if you have kids, you remember them jumping on the bed early in the morning. Well, that's what I'm like. I'm when I start to see the signs of someone waking up, I'm in there with the flashlight. Wake up! Wake up! And if you have kids and have that experience, you're like, oh, just let me wake up slowly, get my bearings. And so that's what I realized, that I'm trying to shine the light in the person's face and get them going. And in my defense, it's just because I think they're going to be better on the other side of it, right? This has worked for me, but it's not necessarily the way that it goes. And so I'm trying to just be patient and back off and wait till people are like in that space. So the idea is that we all have, just by nature of our humanity, what's called the core wound. And I like the way Reverend Sandy described it this morning in her talk. She called it the God-shaped hole. So it's called the core wound in some places, but I like the idea of the God-shaped hole. What that means is we need spirit to unlock that wound for us. In Course in Miracles, they call it the perceived separation from spirit, from each other, and from ourselves. So when they say perceived separation, guess what that means? We're not really separated. It's easy to think of ourselves as separated because we're in these separate individual bodies, these different physical bodies, but really we're all connected at some level. And so the idea is that you can fix that by just tapping into spirit, and we're told that that's available at any moment. It might not seem like that sometimes, right? But as we ground down into these practices and this philosophy, it becomes easier and easier to access that at any given moment. So I want to read Course in Miracles is my first love, and I want to actually thank Sarah and Bob. Bob facilitates the 12-step groups here. Sarah facilitates Course in Miracles, and all the other programs that we have. We've had ministers in the past that weren't very open to having a lot of programs going on, and I just think that any way that we can offer healing and expanding consciousness. So thank you for allowing all of this. And to my Course in Miracles group, we're going great. We had 9 of us there yesterday, so feel free to join us at any time. But I want to read something about judgment. So anytime we find ourselves, so basically this whole thing is about how to get out of the sense of separation from yourself and others and move into a space of really connecting. And so about judgment, it says, the only judgment involved is the Holy Spirit's one division into 2 categories, one of love and the other call for love. The call for love. You cannot safely make this division, for you are much too confused either to recognize love or to believe that everything else is nothing but a call for love. And I love that. I love that you talked about complaining. I have no complaints. So if we hear someone complaining, really what we know is they're just calling for love. And so the answer, according to Course in Miracles, is to always extend love. That's the word they use, extend. So the practice is, okay, we see everyone as love and light always. And I notice for myself, when I'm in judgment of someone and when I'm holding them in something other than love and light, then it's almost like I'm cementing that lack of love and light, right? Like they just dig in more to that space that they're in. And whenever I can kind of shift that for myself, the person might not show any shifting on their end, but if I can shift that inside, then it's more possible for the person to make the shift, because otherwise you're holding them in this other thing that they aren't, okay? So that's also a practice we use in Course in Miracles. And so now I'm going to talk about keeping it real in the world. So about 5 years ago, I had this dream, and I'm sorry if you've heard it before, because I have a very rich dream life. But I dreamt that all the masters, I like to study all the religions. So I study Tibetan Buddhism, so the whole lineage of the Tibetan Buddhists. And then Jesus and Muhammad and everybody was kind of showering the earth with all this love and light. And it was like the Northern Lights. I went to school in upstate New York, went to college, and so I saw the Northern Lights one day, and it was like that. It was like all these pinks and greens and purples streaming down onto the earth. And for me, it felt like the rapture. And I woke up the next morning, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we're going through the rapture. And because that's how I roll. And so you might be saying to me, we're going through the rapture? It doesn't feel like it right now. Well, as part of the dream, I could feel, I guess I would say, resistance or from the earth and from the humanity, that the love and light wasn't permeating 100% into everything and everyone, and that we were holding resistance to that. So what's happening right now? So my take on it is that it's kind of like cleaning out the closet, right? You go into the closet and you're like, is this still fit? Is this still working? And if it's not, we got to get rid of it. So guess what we're doing right now, collectively? We're cleaning our closets. I feel like it's happening individually. I don't know if that's the case in your lives. But I feel like we're collectively cleaning our closets. And I feel like it's happening, I noticed it in 4 areas: health, education, what was the other ones? Religion, and like government and business, like those kind of things. So let me just tell a little story about as an example about health. So my friend David here has been sending me YouTube videos for at least 5 years, right? About how I should be eating and that kind of thing. And I wasn't ready to hear it, right? Like that same readiness that I was talking about trying to shine this flashlight in someone's eyes. I wasn't ready to hear what he was telling me. And somebody kept sending them. And so now I'm listening, and I'm adjusting my diet and so on. But in my defense, it's kind of overwhelming, because one doctor's telling you, oh, just eat a bunch of meat, go keto, and no carbs. And then the other guy's telling me, okay, it's all vegan. The other doctors like, go vegan and blah, blah, blah. So we're getting all these messages the authority figures. That's what I mean when I was talking about education and health and so on. We're getting all these mixed messages from authority figures, right? Even from the media. I'm sure you have had that same experience. And we're having to kind of tune into our own energy, have discernment around what is truth for us, right? Have you had that experience? And so I feel like collectively we're going through this thing where we're having to do that. And I do that, with the videos that he sends me. I tune into, like, is this where the direction I should go? And yes, it should. So another part of it for me was that I have had kind of a lot of tumultuous experiences with the traditional medical system. So I gave up on them. Probably about 15 years ago, I stopped going. But then I was like, I should go get tested for a bunch of family conditions, genetic stuff. And luckily, all my stuff came back normal. Everything's fine. But I'm struggling with this authority idea. Like, what authorities do I trust? And really, it's just coming down to like trusting my inner authority and then allowing, trying to find the right people accordingly. So on top of that, recently I started going to an acupuncturist, and I go to her once a week. And it's kind of expensive, right? I'm not gonna beat around the bush around that. But she told me about a naturopathic dentist in Santa Teresa. So if you want the name, let me know. So I'm going on Wednesday to her. And so I'm trying these different modalities. Maybe we're gonna, she does this thing called ozone therapy. And I guess it's like O3. So the normal oxygen is O2. And so somehow they put another molecule in there, and that molecule runs around your body and tries to find the infection and gets the oxygen in there that way. So I'm gonna try it. How are we gonna move into the new if we're not putting our energy and stuff into that? So that's been my practice lately. I've been trying to feed the things that I want to see the direction of the world go into. So that's my practice. And so I'm going to end there, but I'm going to ask are you all up to sending that love and light that we are? Are you up for us sending that to the world, to bless the world and healing? When we do this together, it's just exponential, okay? And so just inviting everyone to close your eyes now and just really grounding down into that knowing of who you are in spirit, that you are the light and the love of the world, and that we came here to share this love and light and to maintain our inner truth, our true north, so that we can share this with others. And so just imagining now that spiritual energy, that divine source, entering through the tops of your heads and making its way to your heart, down through the center of your brain, down through the base of your skull, through your throat, and out through your heart. And we're just going to imagine a rose gold light emanating from our hearts. And we can raise our hands in blessing position, sending that energy down the arms from the heart through the arms down through our hands. Or you can just imagine it coming straight from your heart. And you can take a peek at me if you'd like. And first, we're just going to send this love and light to someone who is very easy for us to love. That person probably already came into your awareness now. And just sending love and light to that person, enveloping in that rose gold. And now we're going to send this love and light to maybe someone who we've seen a call for love in, whatever form that takes. Knowing that their perceived lack, their perceived fear is not who they are. Just picturing them enveloped in love and light, feeling that love and light travel through their whole body, to every cell, to every strand of DNA. We are so blessed. And now, just sharing this light with this center, just picturing the center just radiating love and light. Picturing this love and light going to every person present here now or watching on Zoom or at a later time. And not just the people here, but anyone who's ever been here for Sunday service, for 12-step meetings, for Course in Miracles, for book studies, for classes, coming into the bookstore, into Tops, into the office. Just love and light everywhere. And now seeing this place as just a lighthouse for Las Cruces, this love and light emanating out now. Seeing our community working together, the community of Las Cruces, for in connection and harmony and love for the good of all. And now extending out to this entire state of New Mexico, this exquisite, beautiful state that we live in. This love and light going out to everyone, blessing them with physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, energetic well-being. And now to the whole United States. The whole gene pool is represented here in this United States. And by that, we send out this love and light to the whole world, knowing that we are connected to the whole world through this gene pool. And not just to humanity, but to our animal brothers and sisters, to the plants, to the waters, to the mountains, to the air we breathe, to the clouds, to the nature divas. We give so much thanks. And now just directing this love and light downward, through the soles of your feet, through the palms of your hands, back to the earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Mother Earth, for giving us these wonderful physical bodies that we live in joy, love, light, and gratitude. For the air we breathe, for the water we drink, for all our material belongings. We know that they're all just temporary for us right now. But we are so blessed for this, and we release this to law, knowing that it is so, and so it is. Thanks, guys.
The second song is a Carrie Newcomer song, and I've done some of her songs before. The poetry is just beautiful, so I'll try to enunciate so you can hear the words. But in the song, she uses the analogy of a geode, like one of those little round volcanic stone things that doesn't look like much on the outside, but on the inside is just this beautiful, colors and crystals and stuff. So she uses the geode is a symbol of the true self, that we may not look like much on the outside, but there's something really beautiful on the inside, and to look for that in ourselves and in other people as well. So, geodes.
No, you can't always tell one from another. Round here we throw geodes in our gardens. They're as common as the rain or corn silk in July. Unpretentious browns and grays, the stain of Indiana clay. They're what's left of shallow seas, glacial rock and mystery. And inside there's a secret bright as promise. All these things that we call familiar are just miracles clothed in the commonplace. You'll see it if you try. In the next stranger's eyes, God walks around in muddy boots, sometimes rags, and that's the truth. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know. Some say geodes are made from pockets of tears, trapped away in small places for years upon years, pressed down and transformed till the true self was born, and the whole world moved on like the last notes of a song, a love letter sent without return address. No, you can't always tell one from another, and it's best not to judge a book by its tattered cover. I don't open them to see folks round here just like me. We have come to believe there's hidden good in common things. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know. You can't always tell, but sometimes you just know.
Thank you again, Sarah, and I want to thank Lisa again also. Talk about geodes. We are beautiful on the outside and inside, are we not? I mean, this is amazing. Thank you so much for your message. So let's thank her one more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I wanted to just say, she mentioned that when I first got here, there had been sort of a shutdown on anything other than just Ernest Holmes' teachings. And we did visioning as a community, and the word open, open, open kept happening. And that's how we came to open back up to Course in Miracles and to other teachings and ways of addressing and bringing that energy into our lives. So even though we are the Center for Spiritual Living and we teach Ernest Holmes' teaching, we are so open because we know we're all one. Mm-hmm. And so thank you, Lisa, for bringing that to us this morning and a different perspective on the same teaching. So thank you. I appreciate that. And now is the time to consider giving back to this amazing center that's doing all of this amazing stuff. This month, this is our last Sunday in July, we are giving to Distinguished Young Women of New Mexico. It is the oldest and largest national scholarship program for high school girls, and there's more information about them right there. And each month, we choose a new place that we tithe 10% of all that comes into the center. And we're still putting our offering plates at both entrances or exits, so just drop whatever you can give to us today on behalf of this center and on behalf of distinguished young women, and know that 10% goes to them. So thank you so much. Let's say our blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And we will sing, I am so blessed. And just think about that geode, think about that love and light that you are that we just sent out to the world, and see that as that blessing.
so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So one of the things that's come up in our community gathering meetings is that we want to start getting our consciousness post-COVID, post-pandemic. And one of the things we used to do prior to that was greet each other on Sundays and go around and hug everybody right after the announcements. But some people, even then, were not comfortable with that. And so one of the challenges that I have walking in my position is how to please everybody, which I keep being told you can't do. So what I am going to offer you today is to ask each other, of course, but greet each other in the social hall. Greet each other after the service. We've sort of been starting to do that. More of you are hanging out in here. Ask and see if people are ready for hugs, elbow bumps, fist bumps, whatever it takes, honoring each other, looking each other in the eye, recognizing that love and light that each one of you are. Let's take time after the service when we finish singing our closing song to do that. And we'll see if we can't ease back into some of that wonderful connection that we've had prior to COVID. Okay? Good? All right, let's sing our closing song.
Okay, we're going to do a different song.
Uh-oh.
It's called Go Out and Shine, and yeah, we'll do it a few times and see if you guys like it, and you'll get the hang of it quickly, I think. If you'd like to stand up, and again, this is got that U word in it, so, you know, if you want to direct a little of this to each other, that'd be cool.
Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Oh. Go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Step out and take a chance. Walk the talk, join the dance. Relax, enjoy the ride. Let kindness be your guide. You gotta go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. One voice, one hand, one heart. Wanna change, make a start. We're one big family. What's good for you is good for me. Come on and go out and shine your light. You know the time is right. You gotta go out and shine your light. Go out and shine. Go out and shine. Go out and shine.
I heard singing. Thank you.